Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a phone that's been generating a lot of buzz for its fantastic value, the brand new Samsung Galaxy A56. Samsung's A series has a reputation for delivering a premium feeling experience without the premium price tag, and the A56 looks set to continue that trend. We've spent some quality time with this device, and we're excited to share our thoughts. So, buckle up as we explore everything this mid-range marvel has to offer. Alright, let's start with what you see and feel right out of the box: the design. The Galaxy A56 definitely has a touch of class. It sports a metal frame and a glass back, which instantly makes it feel more premium than some of its competitors. We got the awesome olive version here, and while it wasn't my absolute favorite color, it still looks really good. You can also find it in awesome graphite, awesome light gray, and even a cool awesome pink. Now, compared to last year's A55, the A56 is actually bigger with its 6.7-inch screen, but Samsung has managed to make it thinner and lighter. That's a win-win in my book. It feels great in the hand, not too bulky or heavy. They've even added these subtle ridges to the metal frame, which is a nice little touch. They might not dramatically improve grip, but they do add to that overall quality feel. And speaking of quality, this phone feels really well built. It's also protected by Gorilla Glass Victus, which gives you that extra peace of mind against scratches and those accidental drops. Plus, it's IP67 water and dust resistant, so a little splash or rain isn't going to ruin your day. Overall, the design here is a real highlight. It looks and feels like a more expensive phone than it actually is. Next up, let's talk about the window to your digital world, the display. The Samsung Galaxy A56 packs a beautiful 6.7-inch Full HD plus Super OLED panel. If you've used a Samsung phone before, you know they do displays really well, and the A56 is no exception. The colors are vibrant, the blacks are deep, and everything just looks really pleasing to the eye. What makes it even better is the 120 Hz refresh rate. This means scrolling through your social feeds, websites, and even just navigating the phone feels super smooth. It makes a noticeable difference in the overall user experience. Whether you're binging your favorite shows, browsing the web, or playing games, this display delivers. Now, there's one area where they've made a slight compromise to keep the price down, and that's the peak brightness. At 1200 nits, it's not the absolute brightest out there, although it can go up to 1900 nits in direct sunlight, which is helpful. While I never really struggled to see the screen, some other phones in this price range do get a bit brighter. However, in pretty much every other aspect, color, smoothness, size, this display is fantastic for the money. And the added protection of Gorilla Glass Victus is a nice bonus for durability. Now, let's talk about one of the most important aspects for many of us: the cameras. The Samsung Galaxy A56 packs a versatile triple camera setup on the back. You've got a 50-megapixel main sensor, a 12-megapixel ultra-wide lens, and a 5-megapixel macro camera. On the front, there's a 12-megapixel selfie shooter. In good lighting, the main camera takes some seriously impressive photos. They're sharp, detailed, and the colors, while maybe a touch cooler than some might prefer, look very natural and well-balanced. The ultra-wide lens lets you capture those wider scenes, and the macro lens is decent for getting up close to smaller subjects. The camera app itself is packed with features. You've got your standard photo and video modes, plus portrait, fun mode with filters, and a more section that unlocks pro mode for photos and videos, night mode, panorama, slow motion, and more. For videos, you can shoot in various resolutions and frame rates, and there's even a super steady mode to help smooth out those shaky handheld shots. Where the A56 really shines for a budget phone is in its macro and low light performance. Macro shots can often be tricky, but the A56 does a pretty good job. And even in dimly lit environments, it manages to capture surprisingly clear and usable photos with its night mode. While it might not compete with the top-tier flagship camera phones out there, for its price, the Galaxy A56 delivers a really solid and versatile camera experience that most people will be very happy with. Let's talk about what's under the hood. The Samsung Galaxy A56 is powered by the Exynos 1580 chipset. For everyday tasks like browsing social media, sending emails, watching videos, and general app usage, the A56 feels smooth and responsive. You're not going to encounter any major lag or slowdowns. However, if you're a heavy mobile gamer, this is where the A56 shows its limitations. While you can play lighter games like Clash Royale without any issues, more demanding titles like Fortnite will struggle, even on the lowest graphics settings. We saw some pretty choppy gameplay, so if high-performance gaming is a top priority for you, you might need to look at a more powerful device. That being said, for the average user who wants a phone for communication, entertainment, and everyday tasks, the performance of the A56 is more than adequate. It handles those tasks really well, and in terms of sustained performance under stress, it actually holds up quite nicely, staying relatively cool even during longer periods of use. So, while it's not a gaming powerhouse, it's a solid performer for the majority of users. Now, let's talk about keeping this phone going, the battery. The Samsung Galaxy A56 packs a 5,000 mAh battery, which is a pretty standard size these days, but it translates to really good real-world battery life. In our testing, it easily lasted a full day of typical use, which included browsing, social media, calls, some video watching, and light gaming. Samsung claims up to 29 hours of video playback, and while we didn't quite run it for that long continuously, our tests definitely showed it can go the distance. When it comes to charging, the A56 supports 45W wired fast charging, which is a nice upgrade from its predecessor. While it's not the absolute fastest charging you can find, it's still pretty quick. Using a compatible charger, we saw it go from empty to around 30% in just 15 minutes, and a full charge took around 85 minutes. That's definitely convenient for topping up quickly when you need to. Overall, the battery life and charging speed on the A56 are solid and reliable. So, where does the Samsung Galaxy A56 stand? Overall, it's a really impressive mid-range smartphone that offers fantastic value for its price. You get a beautiful display, a premium design, a capable camera system, good battery life, and a clean software experience with a promise of long-term updates. It's not perfect. The performance for heavy gaming isn't its strong suit, and it lacks the full Galaxy AI suite found on Samsung's flagships. However, for most people, these are likely to be minor drawbacks compared to everything else the A56 offers. If you're looking for a well-rounded phone that looks and feels great without breaking the bank, the Samsung Galaxy A56 is definitely one to consider. It's a true jack-of-all-trades that excels in many key areas. So, that's our look at the Samsung Galaxy A56. What do you think of this phone? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tech reviews. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.